Just as the title suggests, expertise-oriented evaluation, one of the world's oldest approaches to evaluation, is based on feedback provided by experts. These people, who are recognized as having knowledge, experience, and authority within their field, may be chosen to be part of a panel of experts who form an evaluation committee. According to Fitzpatrick and Friends, expertise-oriented evaluation was formally used in education starting in the 1800s, when schools began to standardize college entrance requirements. Brittingham outlines the full history of evaluation, noting that most expert evaluation was inspired by government attempts to manage schools, although it was also used to evaluate the Constitution. In 1910, Abraham Flexner was influential in developing expert evaluations. He was known to be critical, straightforward, and often blunt when conducting his evaluations of medical schools in Canada and the United States, primarily based on his common sense as an educator, since he was not a medical practitioner. Beginning in the late 1800s, the United States began to adapt the school inspection systems from Western Europe to suit their needs for accreditation of institutions in America. They began with educational institutions such as colleges and universities, followed by medical schools and law schools, with the original goal of maintaining quality education equally across the country. Accreditation is the most common formal professional evaluation in the world today, used by many professions to ensure quality. In most forms of accreditation, the institution prepares a report based on internal evaluation, and the expert panel visits the site to approve the report and judge the accuracy of the self-reporting. One example of the accreditation process in schools is the WASC accreditation process, an organization that Christina volunteers with throughout Southeast Asia. Their cycle involves a significant self-study that requires input from all stakeholders in a school, addressing set criteria, followed by a site visit to ensure the accuracy of the report. Most controversy surrounding accreditation is linked in some way to money. The government hires accreditation companies to evaluate schools to make sure that they meet standards, because they want to make sure their loans are spent in worthwhile institutions. The U.S. government fears this weeding out process may not be as vigorous as other countries. There's always concern that evaluators are not truly neutral, particularly when they are volunteers from within the community. Conflict may also arise when there is a difference in purpose, such as accreditation companies who believe the evaluations are formative, helping the schools to become better, while the government is concerned with summative evaluations that list which organizations are worthy of their support. To help clear up controversies, accreditation is becoming more focused on outcomes and maintaining clear purposes. More evaluations are based on the outcomes of student learning despite their range of variables, in order to properly accredit post-secondary institutions. The purpose of evaluation is to present data on the student outcome measures for various colleges and universities, providing data useful in judging the quality of institutions. There are other systems of evaluation, such as informal, that have procedural guidelines with multiple reviewers, much like a graduate dissertation or thesis review panel. One drawback that Fitzpatrick points out is that multiple experts on the committee make judgments of the student's performance, often without discussing their criteria explicitly. Ad hoc panel reviews have no set standards nor structure, but address a particular time-bound need for evaluative information. When they are made up of national experts, they are termed blue ribbon panels. Ad hoc individual reviews depend on a single person who is selected for his or her expertise in an area. Eisner, a key figure in evaluation literature, believes that educational criticism is an effort to reveal what is important so that others can participate in discussing what the critic claims is there. Connoisseurs create the language which critics can take and use for others. Criticism is not meant to be negative, but should include description, interpretation, and evaluation of what is observed. Some strengths include that expert evaluation allows freedom within systems while maintaining standards. It uses different perspectives, more easily connected with technology, and allows for controversial decisions to be made without causing an uproar, through the use of appointing experts to research and conduct site visits. Scriven, one of the great founders of expertise-oriented evaluation, supported it because he believed this evaluation is logical and common sense. He pointed out the need for using effective tools that have clear criteria and systematic methods to evaluate the various parts, from a teacher training activity to the process of curriculum development or improving learning theory. Despite its strengths, expertise-oriented evaluation also has many potential limitations, such as requiring all students to take the same assessments, valuing the judgment of an outside expert over the collective wisdom of staff, determining the qualities necessary to make up an expert panel, or having experts remain neutral during evaluation. A potential conflict of interest occurs when private interests drive evaluation more than public interests. Education and accreditation processes may be affected by politics and struggle to make fair assessments in public interest when pulled a different direction by private interests of institutions or political parties. To counteract some of the drawbacks to expert panel evaluation, Clayton describes the Delphi method. The Delphi method is a structured communication system for experts to contribute independently and anonymously through a questionnaire to an evaluation or problem-solving discussion. Clayton explains the attempt at fair and equal feedback allows the decision-maker to use the collective wisdom from the expert panel to inform their decision-making process. The idea is to move away from one-shot program evaluation and lean towards organizational learning, as Therese and Preschool point out. It is a continuous process that uses both internal and external feedback about processes, outcomes, and is integrated with work activities that evoke the alignment of values, attitudes, and perceptions among organizational members. For international schools, accreditation is vital to ensure that school diplomas are recognized by colleges and universities around the world. On a localized scale, it can be helpful to have outside experts evaluate programs within schools as part of a school improvement process, bringing new perspectives and asking challenging questions. Ultimately, the evaluation process can be an end unto itself, bringing collaboration, reflection, and plans for improvement supported by the advice of experts. The expertise-oriented approach to evaluation, despite its drawbacks, remains a significant and useful form of evaluation in education today. By combining the wisdom, knowledge, experience, and ideas from multiple experts, it may be possible to achieve constructive criticism that benefits both the organization in its improvement processes and the individuals in guaranteeing quality education.